Netflix and their offline viewing is the perfect transition to the worst, a segment where we occasionally rant about the things that are driving us nuts during the course of the week. So this is not going to be a conversation for those who have never seen this before. This is literally just going to be several minutes of us complaining.
That's fun. That sounds like fun listening.
Yeah, we're all very good at complaining, to be clear. Experts.
We're New Yorkers.
So yesterday, while Devendra was working on this follow-up piece about Netflix and offline viewing, I discovered that Amazon has offline viewing. I did not know this was a thing.
Which mainly involved me saying, hey, Amazon has been doing this for years. And Terrence was like, what?
Yeah, basically. And I was not alone on staff. I was one of many editors who was unaware that Amazon Prime Video has an offline viewing option.
Many consumers are unaware.
Yeah. This is primarily because they do a terrible job at marketing it.
Yeah.
And we're also basic.
Yeah, I mean that too. But I think that part of the big issue here is not only has Amazon done a terrible job of advertising this feature and really promoting the usefulness of Amazon Prime and their video features, but Amazon's insistence on trying to create like an ecosystem and thinking that they're fucking Apple
on Android
is out of like it's an insane thing. So if you want to take advantage of Amazon Prime Video's offline viewing capabilities, you first have to go get the Amazon app from the Google Play Store. That's probably going to be your point of entry because nobody's going directly to the Amazon site first. And then what happens is if you go to try and watch a video in the Amazon app from the Google Play Store, it tells you instead that you have to go to the Amazon website.
So step two.
Step two, to go download their other Amazon app that isn't in the Play Store.
It's an app. It's an app store.
Yeah, so it's
App Store.
Amazon Underground.
Okay.
Which is not just an app store, but basically a replacement for Amazon Shopping as well. It's all the same features, except it's called Amazon Underground. And then you go to this webpage, and it tells you to install it, which means you then have to go into your settings and tick off the thing that tells you that prevents you from installing software from unknown sources. So then you download that app, you install it, you open it, you go to play an Amazon Prime Video, and then it tells you have to go download the Amazon Prime Video app, which is also not in the Google Play Store and is instead like a separate thing.
You can only get the Prime Video app in Amazon Underground,
which you you wouldn't know exists unless you it's
usability.
It's a huge nightmare. And I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is something preventing them from putting the Amazon Prime Video app in the Google Play Store, but I'm pretty sure there's not because there's a million other video streaming apps that you have to pay for or buy things through. So I'm pretty sure it's not like a purchasing issue. It's not like a financial thing that Google's like, no, you can't do that. And also because of this, you can't have Chromecast accessibility in the Prime thing. So unless you have an Amazon Fire TV, which who is like, why? Why do you need that at this point? You can't watch it on your TV. So dumb.
Why do you need it as the managing editor of a site that has recommended these products?
I would recommend a Chromecast over a Fire TV. I think the Fire TV is a mediocre product at best. It doesn't offer very many advantages over a Roku or a Chromecast.
Yeah,
and
but you know what you can do with the Fire TV? Amazon.
Yeah, but I don't care enough. I was so annoyed by this yesterday that I seriously considered canceling my Prime subscription.
Wow, that's a little hardcore. It's more like these companies. It's these big tech companies, and they're all like having their little inner wars with each other. So it leads to bad usability, right?
Yeah.
On iOS, you can download the Amazon Prime Video app and just download video, so that's pretty straightforward. But if you want to get a Kindle book or a Comixology book or something on iOS, you have to you can't do it from within their apps. Their apps are only viewers, so you have to go to the web or to another web browser somewhere and do your purchase there, and then go back into the app because
that's how I've gotten all my Kindle books on too.
Because Amazon doesn't want to deal with Apple's payment mechanism and everything.
But that's not a barrier on Android, I don't believe, right? It's not
a barrier, but they created their own barrier on Android when they didn't need to. I don't know why they did that. So basically, Amazon stinks at usability. Hopefully, the thing that's really cool about Netflix is offline is that it's so easy. It's there. You hit a button and it's in your queue and done. Yeah. That's it. And maybe Amazon will wise up and fix their stuff now because of that.
Yeah. So too long didn't read. Amazon is the worst.
It's a shame. They have a lot of good shows. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Dana, what's bothering you this week?
I've had a good week. I Having a good week at work. I'm on top of my to-do list. I got a lot of good Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. I've been getting a lot of sleep, so I'm in a good mood. The one thing I'll say is that I'm testing a bunch of laptops. People may have read my recent MacBook Pro and Surface Book reviews, and now I'm on to the HP Spectre X360, the updated one, which I have right in front of me, and the, not pictured here, the Lenovo 910. Similar machines. They're both about the same size. They're both convertibles. They're okay. I mean, so the thing about this that gets on my nerves, and Lenovo to another extent too, is all of these bad Windows touchpads, or at least all of the ones that don't use Microsoft's touchpad. What just gets me is that they're so bad, most of them. There's one really clear superior option, which is Microsoft's precision touchpads, and no one else is using them. And so they just keep going back, in this case, to Synaptics, which has had so many years to prove itself to consumers that it can make a decent touchpad, and it can't. This one has been just driving me nuts. The cursor either doesn't go where I want it to, or it does things I don't want it to. And it has sort of dampened my experience with this otherwise pretty good machine. I mean, it's very lightweight, it's fast.
It's very pretty. Yeah.
It's pretty, it boots up quickly. Windows Hello is awesome. The keyboard is mostly good, although HP, because we're moving toward more compact machines, all these companies have to retool their keyboards. So in this case, both the control and the function keys are kind of tiny, which means I periodically mess up my keyboard shortcuts, which I use a lot of. And also the down arrow is especially tiny.
That is minuscule.
Yeah.
By the way, I had to lean over and look, and that's
I'm
like
really a
horrendous.
touchpad kind of person. I mean, a keyboard kind of person.
Yeah.
I highlight text a lot using arrows instead of the touchpad.
Because the touchpad is garbage.
Because the touchpad is garbage. So at least give me control function and arrow keys that are easy for me to find by feel.
Yeah.
So who else is using the Microsoft touchpad, though?
It's just Microsoft.
It's it. Are they licensing?
I think they've licensed it to other computer makers before. I could have sworn Dell has used it before, but I could be wrong.
Maybe that would be nice. But yeah, the problem, what this proves is that if you want a good touchpad, you have to make it yourself. Like, that's what Apple's secret has always been. And
I don't want people listening to think, that I only like Apple touchpads. Actually, I really like the Surface Books, and I think Microsoft does a good job. I just wish more people would use more companies would use their solution. Yeah.
Or Synaptics would be better. Like, I've met with them just to talk about what they were doing, and I asked them, like, why is Apple better than you? Like, I straight up asked them, and they were like, well, they have all these integrated components, and they can, like, deal with lag time and yada, yada, yada. They can come...
That's a space... I mean, we've been talking today about Amazon and Netflix sort of pushing each other forward. Touchpads is a space where I think, especially for Windows laptops, where we need more competition.
Yeah.
Synaptics is just the big name there. I don't think they're doing good work. I think they are dragging down otherwise good products. We need more there.
So what you're saying is the market isn't working in this case. Because we do have competition. You've just said that both Apple and Microsoft make vastly superior products.
Microsoft has been doing it.
I don't expect people to switch to Apple just because
but
of the touchpads.
You would think that the quality of the touchpad on the MacBook would drive Windows machine makers to make better touchpads.
It drove Synaptics to be better and do bigger touchpads and glass panels and everything, but they don't feel better. Like, it's on the Surface better, but they don't work as well as the Mac or the Microsoft touchpads. Yeah.
So what you're saying is Synaptics is the worst.
We're going to get a lot of letters from Synaptics.
Yeah, everybody is going to find themselves on this list at some point, just to be clear.
But, who's other than Synaptics themselves, who's going to disagree with me on that?
Yeah.
I bet Synaptics has made a lot of enemies.
Most likely.
I also wonder if people even notice. Like, we complain about this stuff, but I'm like, when I reviewed the ZenBook 3, also terrible touchpad, I think also Synaptics, but just doesn't work. And then other people will buy it, like regular consumers. They'll be like, it's fine. Like, they're okay dealing with.
But they would say that. They're like.
Yeah,
if they haven't experienced anything better.
But if you've spent the money, you are inclined to say this is fine.
This is true. Yeah.
I'll add one more thing before we move on real quick, which is that Windows machines have had such a historically bad problem with touchpads that they are almost single-handed. One of the major reasons I continue to buy ThinkPads because I want the little red nub.
Well, the nub, and also Lenovo. I keep saying IBM, but even back then they had like this great metal, like almost like a metal material on the touchpad, and that was always smooth and nice.
Yeah.
So, and that's still good.
Yeah, but that red nub, that was what saved me from having to use shitty touchpads.
Yeah.
Devindra, what's kind of bothering you this week?
I mean, I spent a big chunk of this week testing and thinking about DirecTV Now, which is their new TV streaming service, at&t's new streaming service, because they bought DirecTV. It's okay. It's actually not terrible. It's just like I don't care that much about it. It's not that new or original. The big thing at&t was pushing with this thing was like, oh man, we got all these partnership deals, all these network deals to get the channels on the service, but actually using it, the quality is fine. It's just okay. There's nothing special about it. And I think they're just going to try to push this thing forward through sheer force of marketing muscle alone, which is kind of annoying.
What does it cost?
Yeah. Right now, it's starting at $35 for around 60 plus channels, I think. But there's a special deal, so for that price, you can lock in 100 channels, and supposedly you'll be grandfathered into that price moving forward. But that plan normally costs $60.
And so when a carrier promises grandfathering, we always believe them, right?
When AT&T promises grandfathering,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, sure. That's going to last.
Exactly. But yeah, that was like the big price that AT&T executives were touting last month at a conference. And to hear that it's just promotional sounds just, it's kind of disheartening and kind of sad.
So the service itself isn't the worst.
It's okay.
AT&T and DirecTV are the worst because of the way it's structured.
Yeah, and I guess what's also funny is I've seen commenters saying, "Oh man, Verizon owns us, so we have to rail against AT&T." I also don't care about that because we haven't talked much about Verizon's products.
They don't have a competitor.
They don't have
product.
a competitor. What's really funny is AT&T is like, this is an exciting TV service, guys, because you won't need contracts and you also won't need credit checks, like all the things preventing them from getting new subscribers. So this is an easy way for DirecTV/AT&T to get more new TV subscribers. But that's really just it, and it's fine. But I kind of like Sling TV more. Yeah.
You didn't sound nearly as frustrated as we did about
it's
our
not super
respective
frustrating. Honestly, we just needed a place to mention the story. But yeah, it's okay.
So yours is less the worst and more the meh?
The meh. Well, the meh that I've spent hours and hours of my life at. I don't like going to big launch events for things that are just dumb and boring, and then having to deal with like a loud DJ set and everything while I'm trying to get
I saw that they had a DJ there. Like, they really went all out, right?
Yeah. It was also an evening launch event. I think companies should know that.
That's the worst.
That's the worst.
Don't have evening launch events. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
That ruins people's days. That's us working.
Yeah.
Like, we have families and video games to go home to. We don't want to come
many
right
video
about your
games.
goddamn phone.
Yeah. / IPTV service.
Yeah, like I was just picking a rant.
Yeah.
Like, I've done late night events for phones and stuff.
If you read a less than glowing write up from us at 9 p.m. at night, it might be that it's a bad product. It might also be that we're a bit hangry.
Yeah,
A bit hangry, a bit tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, what is wrong with you?
Be better. Yeah.